All right, here we go. Question number 4 from our 0314 homework number 7 in MyLab Math. And the instructions say solve by completing the square. So we have a quadratic. It is already in standard form. In order to complete the square, we do need to start by moving the constant over, okay? So the plus 45 is the constant. If I move him over, he's going to make minus 45. This is the first step of the completing the square process. You have to get the constant over on the other side by itself, and then that's going to give me x squared minus 6x plus, and now I don't have a constant, so I'm going to leave that blank, equals negative 45. Now listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some number that I'm going to add to this side that will complete the square. So whatever I add to one side, I have to add to the other, okay? So this question mark is going to be the number we come up with when we complete the square. Now, for the completing the square process, we're going to take half of the coefficient of x. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. And then that result, we square it. And that is how you come up with your special number to complete the square, okay? Once again, it's a two-step process. You take the coefficient of x and take half of it. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. That result has to be squared. Negative 3 squared is 9. And again, I said whatever I add to one side, I have to add to the other. So we're adding 9 to both sides, okay? Now then, why do we call it completing the square? It's because this 9 that we came up with here to create a new standard trinomial, when I go to factor it, the factors will be identical. This is going to be a perfect square trinomial. So if I read the signs, I can see they're both going to be minus x and x to make the x squared. And then I need numbers that multiply to make 9, that add and make negative 6. And that's going to be negative 3 and negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 and negative 3 add to make negative 6. Now, since these factors are identical, I can simplify further and say x minus 3 quantity squared. Anything times itself is that thing squared. And then on the other side, I do need to combine like terms. So negative 45, let's use our calculator here. Negative 45 plus 9 is negative 36. And then that's going to be negative 36. And now what I want to do is I want to get rid of the squared. To get rid of a squared, you take the square root. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And a square root cancel. So that's going to leave me x minus 3. But on the other side, I have the square root of negative 36. And from a previous lesson, we know that when you square root a negative number, you get a complex result, okay? So we know the negative under the square root can come out and turn into I. The square root of 36 is 6. And anytime you take the square root of both sides, you get a plus and a minus answer. So altogether, the square root of negative 36 is plus or minus 6i. And then one more step and we're done. Bringing the negative 3 over to get the x by itself, that's going to give me positive 3 plus or minus 6i. And you can either leave the result like that, or you can split it up into your two answers as 3 plus 6i and 3 minus 6i. But remember, every quadratic has two solutions, and there they are. It just so happens that this time the solutions are complex. Now, let's see if the Casio Class Whiz will check that for us, okay? So we're going to go to Menu, scroll down to the Equation Function option, and select number 2 because we have a polynomial of degree 2. And then we're going to put the coefficients in. So the coefficient of x squared, which is a, is 1. The coefficient of x, which is b, this time is -6. And the constant is 45. And then if I hit equals one more time, look at that. 3 plus 6i. And if I hit equals again, 3 minus 6i. So the Casio Class Whiz will solve the quadratic even if the solutions are complex. That is freaking amazing. All right, so let's put in these answers. And notice that it does say use a comma to separate answers as needed, okay? Even though there is the plus minus option, I think we may go ahead and input these separately. So we're going to say 3 plus 6i, comma, 3 minus 6i. Bam, and we're done. Man, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.